Yeah.
He has 24 projects, according to Ken. 24 projects altogether. 24 projects of pretty much the same thing. So that he puts this one out, and you're really surprised that some people would be like, I'm not really feeling it. And you're like, well, how long can he do this? How long can Sylvester Stallone do fucking action films? If Sylvester Stallone came out and was trying to do a love story, would you take him seriously?
Or a comedy.
Or a comedy. Would you? Well, he did a comedy, but I'm saying if he tried to do a love story, would you take him seriously? His big swole behind.
I mean,
you would not take him seriously.
I haven't seen him in the role.
Come on, man, you know it.
I've never seen him do a love story. He was in a love story. He was in a love story. Rocky. He pulled it off.
Rocky love story.
That wasn't no goddamn.
It was.
It was a love interest.
Okay.
He ain't cried in. He ain't cried in.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. We'll go from Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Would you take him seriously in a love story?
I have to see him.
You a damn lie.
I don't know.
You a lie. I'm just saying. The point is, when you do something for that many years, and then you break away, it might just be that I have to listen to this album another 15 times, and maybe it'll click sometime in 2015, and I might be like, oh shit, what was I thinking? But for 2014. I'm not interested in Sylvester Stallone's love story. I'm interested in beating ass and talking about ratchet shit.
Dead in Hip Hop, we're recording live from Salem Psalms Studios. We're coming to you with another album review, Young Jeezy, Seen It All, the Autobiography. Now before we get into that, make sure you do submit your cover art and also your beat for the Dead in Hip Hop mixtape, The Joint. Make sure you submit that between September 12th and September 19th. After that, it's over. So make sure you get that in. My expectations for this album were pretty high for a couple of reasons. First, when I heard Jeezy's verse on War Ready, I was like, oh shit, Jeezy is ready to come back. And then when he came out with the single, the self-named title of the album, Seen It All, with Jay, I was just like, yo, okay, Jeezy's back. I need this from him because I really haven't liked a complete project from Jeezy since The Recession. And this one is definitely the best project for me since The Recession. The thing that I have a gripe with, and it's with mostly almost all commercial artists, it just seems like they stick to this like this template of what a commercial album should sound like, and I'm over it, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like the fans don't really want that, or at least me personally, I don't want that. I didn't like the song that he had with Future, No Tears. I'm just like, that could have been left off. Like I don't want that sing-songy track, you know what I'm saying? But the song that he had with Akon, I just feel like Akon and Jeezy just have this synergy that it just works. So keep to that. I think people want that, but I didn't like the joint with Future. I really didn't like Bees Like, the one with Boosie. I wasn't feeling that one. I really wasn't feeling that one. The track that surprised me was the one he had with Game and Ross. Beautiful. And the reason why is because Jeezy rarely goes over that smooth type of production. He's always more over that hard, bassy, trap type of sound, which I'm cool with, but in terms of progression and picking different things, Jeezy doesn't typically pick those type of beats, you know what I'm saying? And I really like them. And I like the combination of Ross, Game, and Jeezy on it. I think they all did their thing. And that sample is just dope, you know what I'm saying? A lot of artists have used that in the past, and the way that they flipped it, I like that. And you know, Seen It All, I think by far that was the hardest track on here. But overall, man, I definitely fuck with this Jeezy joint. Yo, this hands down bumps to the whip. Again, I think that this is probably Jeezy's best project overall since The Recession. So I definitely fuck with it.
Jeezy has done a fairly good job of maturing in hip hop from where he started out, you know, pushing mixtapes here in Atlanta to, you know, going commercial, being able to sustain that, and then kind of going from that into something a little bit different now. And that's kind of what I'm hearing with him on this album. You know, he still managed to talk about the things that he's always talked about, but his approach on this was different by taking the autobiographical approach and basically kind of telling his story. So it allowed him to do what he do best. And Jeezy on this album, man, he's talking that talk, man. And that's what I really like about this album. you know, from Quarter Block to What You Say to Black Eskimo was dope. Holy Ghost was crazy. I really loved that one, and that was the thing that I started to kind of pick apart, because Jeezy definitely sounded like really motivated. Like it wasn't like this was like something he's throwing away. Like most, you know, some of his mixtapes haven't really been on point, but you know, lately. But you know, with this album, he sounds inspired. You know, and I think because he wanted to tell his story, that kind of motivated him to really get in the studio and really focus in and lock in on what he wanted to do with this tape. And the other thing I noticed about is the sound. He's managed to refine the trap sound a little bit. Like when he started out, all you heard was Jeezy and the trap, the anthems, this, that, and the other. This, he still kind of sticks to that soundscape, but the beats he's picking are less trap sounding. They're a little bit, they still have that hard edge to it, but they still are able to kind of fit what he's talking about on the songs. Honestly, man, I don't have a song that I don't really like on this album. I really don't. It's like, it's been
with that Future No Tears.
I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Boosie Badass. You know, I'm okay with how I did it. You know, I do think the songs before that, the first 12, you know, were a little bit better to me. I like those more than I like the trailing 3, but overall, I think just listening to what Jeezy's talking about, man, and you know, what he say, he had this city so high, he almost bought a fan for his city, man. Like, he's really sat down, and to me it sounded like, you know, he just wanted to get in the studio and do what he's been doing, you know, for the last 10 years or so, man, and that's just pushing that work, man, and for me, man, it was good to hear Jeezy sound like this, and that's what I wanted to hear, because I really wasn't feeling TM 103 as much as the Recession or the first 2 TM projects. Like, the Recession still bangs to this day, you know, and you know, he's had a couple of mixtapes after that, but when Jeezy first popped on the streets, man, that's all you heard. And Jeezy put out music strictly for kind of like the street people, man, and that was it, man. And you couldn't avoid it when Jeezy touched down, man. It was like riding around. He gave me something to ride around to listen when I'm riding with my boys, like early on. But yeah, coming back to this album, man, like Seen It All, of course. Like, I didn't hear any of the singles prior to listening to this album, so I actually had a chance to listen to it in its full context. So from start to finish without hearing anything. So that helped. Win Is a Win was dope. Beautiful. I like how they traded off to each other from Game to Jeezy to Rick Ross. I was cool with that.
Were you surprised that he didn't directly or indirectly, you know, address the Freddie Gibbs thing? Because I think it might have been slight on Black Eskimo.
I was gonna say that too.
You know what I'm saying? When he said, yeah, when he said all of you people signing the people that never sold nothing. So I was like, could that be a Freddie Gibbs reference? Maybe. I don't know if you're looking too deep into that, but I found it a little surprising that he didn't say anything, especially how Freddie came at him.
Yeah, Freddie Gibbs is not on that major label like Attention like Jeezy is. So Jeezy doesn't have to say anything if he doesn't want to.
He could pull the Jay-Z move.
He could pull the Jay-Z move and just ignore the whole situation. And then it'll be Freddie Gibbs constantly yapping at him, and then Jeezy can play it off like, oh, he's just yapping for attention. Even though I don't know if that's what Freddie Gibbs is doing. But if I was Jeezy, I would just not. I wouldn't say shit.
I think he took a boss route, man. He let it go. You know, he patched things up with Ross a while back. I think Jeezy is at this point in his career, I think he's a little over that. You know what I'm saying? So I think he just wants to really get in the studio and try to put out the best music he can. And you know, and I think with this album, he's done a really good job of coming back and circling back and really putting out what I think is quality work. So I fucks with Seen It All, man.
Jeezy was focused. He was really focused on this, and I'm surprised he still gave me that like really aggressive type of street rap, but it wasn't really over a lot of trap beats. Like you said, like Beautiful for one of them. I love Black Eskimo. I love What You Say. I love that. That's another joint I love. Seen It All. I think the concept, the beat for one is like amazing, and I think the concept for that song is even greater. How they both executed it well. And I actually like Beautiful. I like the Game and Rick Ross, how they was sparring and trading verses and everything. And it was surprised to hear Jeezy spit over that type of lush production. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, Jeezy, Sean, because I know when he spit on that Rick Ross joint, there was that Roar Ready. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So yeah,
what was the one that sounded like Tech to a Mac? Is that the one that game was on?
That's the one. Yeah, Win for a Win. No,
Win
it's
for
with Akon.
Okay. Yeah.
And I kind of disagree with you. I thought Akon sounded very dated on here. Like he
did sound dated, but I think it has a nostalgic feeling to it. I think that's what rap was.
It wasn't nothing special about Akon.
No, it wasn't special, but I don't know. I just think that Jeezy and Akon they just fit. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, Akon could have been without Akon. and to be honest with you, Future joints, he would have been better on that 4 Zones joint, the one that Young Jeezy was like auto-tuning and singing on. I think he could have just used Future, took him off the other song. What's that? No Tears. Took him off that song because God, that song was bad. He could have put him on 4 Zones. That's just me personally. But yeah, overall, I really like this project. I thought, like, similar to T.I., I thought he sounded kind of very inspired again, very hungry. Like, okay, I'm gonna show y'all why I'm Jeezy, I'm the man. Like I said, he gave me a good texture of aggressive trap rap. But not over like too trappist beats like TM 101. Like he didn't stick with that type of form of production. But Jeezy still have a good ear for beats. So the beats on here I thought were really good. Like it's probably like maybe two or three tracks on here that I probably like skipped. This was a good comeback album for Jeezy, and I'm glad he's back, man. Glad he's doing his thing.
I loved it when it first started. Quarter block, I was like, this is the type of Jeezy that I love, and this is the type of Jeezy that we did not get on TM 103, because I vaguely even remember reviewing that shit. But I remember I didn't like it. And that was when that dude rolled up playing his car, right? Yeah. The first 3 or 4 tracks, I was like, okay, this is pretty fresh. By the time it got to Enough, I was just like, I don't really care that much. When it got to Holy Ghost, I was just like, I really don't care about this anymore. I tuned out until Seen It All. What brought me back was that fucking Jay feature. That was the best shit on the whole album. And maybe I might have to agree with FIFO, man. Maybe Jay-Z should just do guest verses, because that verse was better than anything on Magna Carta, Holy Grail, and fucking Watch the Throne. I don't give a fuck what you say, Rob. That verse was bananas. Like, I loved his flow on that. Like, he went off.
Real shit.
Yeah. And When Is a Win was good, and then Beautiful I thought was really dope. Of course, I mean, I liked Game the most on that track. I mean, Jeezy definitely did his thing too. The Ray Charles line was actually pretty dope. The Ray Charles and Ray Bans. I got both hands. What did you say? Ray Charles and Ray Bans. Because both hands touch these keys, something like that. But the game line about fucking European models white as white as hair with this. I was like, hell yeah. Tell him about it, Game. But it seemed like this album for me with Jeezy, it seemed like it started off like a marathon runner. He had all this energy, and he was getting it. By Holy Ghost, it was like that 3rd mile, and he was like, man, I don't know if this was a good idea.
Then he got the water bottle on Seen It All.
He got the water bottle on Seen It All, but that water bottle didn't last that long. He was panting. Bruh. Like, the thing about Jeezy is, I think I've said this before, I think I like Jeezy as a rapper, and I like him as a personality more than I really care for his songs. Because I want Jeezy over harder beats. When Jeezy goes over really hard beats, that's when I like him the most. When he's going over these kind of softer beats, he's not that interesting to me. And I understand that this album was supposed to be his autobiography, so it wouldn't have really made sense for him to go over these really hard trap beats and be hollering and shit. Because his voice is already going to have that gruff, which is what I love about Jeezy, is that gruff, gargling, razor blade sound. It's already going to have that. By the middle of this album, I didn't really care that much anymore about the story he was telling, and it almost didn't seem like he was even that compelled to keep telling me the story. Because it really wasn't that interesting. Like, I don't think most people that picked this up would even know that this was supposed to be like his story. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, it didn't really connect for me. It wasn't bad. It's just I don't like Jeezy over these type of beats. And it's not even that the beats were bad. It's just they didn't match well for me. I like Jeezy over loud, aggressive beats so he can be loud and aggressive. And I didn't get that loud, aggressive, mean Jeezy that I like so much on this album.
Or
The
like
first
the
3 or
hardest
4
ones.
tracks were the hardest ones on here. Black Eskimo, like he was fucking going off, and it was just, it's like I can feel the passion in his voice on those first few tracks. And again, like I said before, I get that this is not that type of album, so that's why I can't shit on it and say, oh, it's whack. It's not a whack album. It's just maybe this just isn't what I want from Jeezy. And I'm not the type of dude that runs around listening to coke rap and that's all I want to hear. But Jeezy, to me, is made for that. He has that perfect voice for that. He has that perfect flow for that. So when I get something like Holy Ghost or Me Okay, or even Fuck the World or any of these songs, if the songs are not bad songs, I just don't really want that from Jeezy. I want you to talk about whooping somebody's ass. I want you to talk about riding on somebody. I want you to just talk about anything but this, because it doesn't seem like he seems, you know what? He doesn't seem comfortable, is what I got from this.
I don't know about
Sorry.
that one. I disagree with that.
You can disagree all you want, but like I said, when I listen to this, I don't get that passionate Jeezy. I get, this is Jeezy that's doing what he needs to do for this track, versus this is Jeezy that's passionate and this is what I want to talk about. I don't know, it just didn't sound that comfortable for me.
I'm glad Jeezy sound very inspired and focused again. I didn't mind the Holy Ghost tracks, the storytelling tracks. I like it. I enjoyed it a lot. Glad he was on that aggressive shit as well as some storytelling shit. So Jeezy, good album.
The last album was not, at least for me, it wasn't worth the money. This is definitely worth $10. Jeezy, I always felt like he was just stuck kind of in the mold, and then this one kind of, it gave me more. Like I said, the track Beautiful, that, like, I want to hear Jeezy on more of that type of stuff. So I like this album. I really like this album. Definitely bumps in the whip.
Like B said, he has a good ear for beats, and he picked a great selection of beats on this album to really put together what I believe is a really, really solid album. I mean, I like it a lot, definitely more than TVM 103. Not to continuously shit on that or anything like that, but you know, it was a step up compared to that one, because you know, we didn't know what was next for Jeezy after that album. And I think with this and the different sounds and beats that he picked, I think this shows that he has progressed and that he can evolve and continue to put out albums and you know, and different forms of content and not the same thing over and over again. So yeah, I was definitely cool with it, so I rock with this.
For me, I'm not really sold on this sound yet for Jeezy. So for me, it didn't completely work, but I do appreciate the effort. And that's really all I can say, man. I can't shit on this. I can't say it's a bad album. I can just say it didn't 100% work for me. I want that hard Jeezy. I want that make me want to pull over and fuck up a homeless person Jeezy. Make me want to fucking sell coke on the streets Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? Make me take off my motherfucking cardigan Jeezy. Get my arms stuck. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of Jeezy I want, bro. Yeah.
Get swollen on the mic.
I'll get swole real quick, boy. Shit.
Sound like that cardigan has some different ideas. It's like, hold up, Mike.
You don't want this, Mike.
I'm gonna hold you back, Mike. I got you.
You might want to calm down, Mike.